What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Morning Brew podcast. I'm your host, Kayla, and I'm interviewing creatives every other week to bring you an authentic conversation about what goes on behind the scenes in their creative process. Before we get started, make sure you're following the Morning Brew podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Instagram so that you don't miss any updates. I'm super excited about this week's episode because I'm giving you a little look into my lore. If you know me personally, you know that I'm a big nerd, I'm really into different fandoms, and I'm so excited to announce that this week my guest is the incredibly talented, incredibly creative co-founder of the Hillywood Show, Hilly Hindi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you so much for coming on. I don't have words for how much you guys have inspired me. Your work is part of my lore. So I'm pumped to introduce you to all my listeners. Can we start with your name and where you're from?
Yes, my name is Hilly. I am from Las Vegas.
Hey, so Hillywood, as we can all see behind you, is the brainchild of you and your sister Hannah. Throwing it all the way back to your childhood, how did you guys discover this passion and sort of decide to do this together?
Well, since a young age, I wasn't the normal kid. I don't even really know when it began, Caleb, but it began, and I think I was around 8 or 9 when I started just putting on plays with my kid cousin. And grabbing my parents' camcorder and making movies or plays. So I really we've checked, is anyone in the family an actor or director? we can't. It doesn't seem so. I mean, there's a couple of dancers or performers and things like that, but nothing to my cray level, my obsessed level. And yeah, we did that for many years. We were kind of like the little director friends. Like if you came over, we weren't gonna play, we were gonna make a movie. And we'd have costumes, and we would, bless my parents, we would ruin houses for the sake of the art. And yeah, I think it, I can't remember a time without it. And then the Hillywood Show wasn't created until 2006, and it was a contest entry, for an idea for your own internet show. And I entered, and I came, I think, in second or third place. I can't even remember. And the people that voted for me during that contest were like, hey, upload your stuff to YouTube. That's a new platform. And I did, and the rest is history.
That's so crazy.
I look like I can make it. If not, I would take up your whole podcast, and I don't want to do that.
That's really cool, though. I didn't know it was for a contest.
Yeah. I entered many contests when I was a kid. I think the first one was for, are you familiar with Creation Entertainment?
Yes.
Okay, so my first one was for a Creation Entertainment video contest, and it was for a Lord of the Rings convention. And I entered, and I made it like a music video. No one will ever see the light of day of this. But it was like Frodo, Pippin, and the Hobbits, and Gandalf rapping, and it was like a music video essentially. So even back then, Hillywood was there, but I didn't recognize it. And I won that contest, and I think I was only, God, I was barely a teen, maybe. I don't even remember. And that gave me the little itch. Oh, I can win. Making movies. And then I would enter I think I entered 2 or 3 scary movie contests, placed in those as well. And then I think after that it was there was also a Lord of the Rings contest. I can go back. I've always been making things and doing contests. The Hillywood Show entry was for a contest originally.
That's super neat. And
Hello.
I did my research. December 1st, 2006. This is almost 20 years ago. The Hillywood Show episode 1 was posted, which was impressions of Johnny Depp characters, if I recall. Yes. How old were you guys at the time? And did you have an end goal, or was it just for the contest?
No, it was just for the contest. And again, we were just teeny boppers. And I begged my sister to help me film it. I was like, please help me do this. Like, please, please, please. And she directed it even way back when, and she helped me. And what's funny is that video that you guys see, the episode 1, that's like potato quality and pixelated and so like, oh my God, it's so like endearing knowing like the roots of it. But for me, it's a cringe fest because it's me. It's like seeing
I totally get that.
photos. Yeah, you're like, please lock it away in a vault somewhere. But anywho, but that one, the one that you guys see, was not the original video I entered. And I don't think I've ever really discussed that, funny enough. It just really, people don't really talk about the origin stories. And the original one was like shot in my bedroom, and like we had no sets. It was just me in the costumes, and I was like, and to you, Willy Wonka, and it was just like me in front of my window. And I was like, and to you, Edward Scissorhands, it's like me in front of the couch. And so what happened was, because the company behind the contest wanted to really give you a chance, they sent out producers and like a camera operator.
Oh, wow.
To your state. And we're like, we're going to go through your script and we're going to try to update it. So even with it updated, it's still like, oh my God, you know, it's such a little baby in like the big world. But yeah, I'm kind of happy you guys can see the OG. Because that one is, I mean, it's essentially the same thing, same line, same scripts, but like it's so much more organic is what I'd like to call it.
That makes a lot of sense. In 2009, 3 years later, you guys released what I believe is the first official parody video, the Twilight ones, and you guys are now like famous for these parody videos. Did you ever expect for them to blow up the way that they did?
No, so the Twilight parody was so different from the sketches. So we did the sketches, I think, for like how you said, a couple of years, and it was going good. We had a little audience, but nothing in the hundreds of thousands or millions or anything like that. And we felt like, okay, we've been there, done that. I think maybe we should kind of wrap it up. And because I was in dance competition at the time, trying to explore where I'm going with my life. I always wanted to pursue acting, but I was like, I don't really know, how to do that. And I said, let's just do one last like video, make it like a Twilight parody, but it's strictly just Twilight. So no more of this mismatch, like the characters, no more of this, like in a sense, the script for this one. Let's just purely stick to music video and like have some fun with Twilight. And overnight, that one got 100,000 views. And I think that was a big club on the head from the good Lord above to tell me, don't you dare walk away. And literally a week after that parody premiered, we got a call from Adam, who is one of the co-founders of Creation Entertainment. And he's like, oh my God, I love your video. Can we get you guys out here to host the Twilight conventions and show your parodies? And that's when I think that's where I like to say Hillywood Show was born. Because before it was like finding the rhythm, and I feel like the title was just attached, but it wasn't really Hillywood. And I think that's funny because like everyone kind of discovers your niche as you grow and you continue. And even now looking back, I'm like, oh, okay, I see where we were going and what we were trying to do, essentially.
I definitely get that. Like with some of the older like podcast episodes, and it's like the equivalent of 4 pixels but audio. And I'm like, oh, the thought was there, but...
Of 4 pixels. Oh my God, Naya.
Yeah.
I know you just go like, oh my God. But I mean, to everyone listening, I hope like it encourages people. Like everyone has to start. And sometimes the start's not the prettiest or the coolest to look at. But that's what's hard with this day and age, is that now everyone expects something super shiny. And if you upload something that's not of that quality, I know a lot of people are afraid to be judged, which I'm hoping that me and Kayla can convince you to not worry about it and just put the art. Art is art, and follow whatever fits your creativity and not the model.
Absolutely. I miss art for the sake of art. Bring that back.
I know, same.
So I wrote down here, My first introduction to your work was the Harry Potter parody
Oh
from 14 years ago because I wasn't allowed to read Twilight when I was that age. So Harry Potter was my first introduction. And I have been waiting 14 years to tell you that I vividly remember quoting it all the time, but also being blown away by the cosplay and the quality, even like back then. And I wrote down the Chihuahua as Dobby sent me. That was so funny.
Oscar-winning performance by my Chihuahua.
Honestly, it was so good. How were you sourcing like the sets and the props and the cosplay? Because you have like a snake in that video. Like, where did you get all of these things is my question.
God, that one we were still, yeah, it was still like very, very, there was like no help. There was no people. I mean, there still isn't, like, you know what I mean? My team is very, very small, but I'm trying to remember like the order of everything. But yeah, Harry Potter Friday parody. It is a little bit of a step up. And I don't know. I mean, everyone probably knows the order of the episodes more than me. But I'm trying to figure out like where did it slot in between the Twilight? I feel like it's after Eclipse or before Eclipse. I think it was
We weren't after, but before Breaking Dawn.
yeah, because we weren't on the big camcorder. We were still filming things on tape all the way up until New Moon parody. So that was a Panasonic DVX100B, which was like this massive camera, and you would use tiny, tiny mini tapes, mini DVs or something, I can't remember. And we would do that, and it was a big pain in the butt to, you know, put it up via analog to your computer to capture the whole thing. There was no edits. And then we got the Canon 7D, I think, and that was donated via Creation Entertainment and Twilight Lexicon. I don't know if you remember that website. It was like
That
the
sounds so familiar.
hubbub for Twilight news you can use. And they donated a Canon 7D to us, and that was our first digital Hillywood camera. And now I'm remembering Harry Potter Friday parody was on the Canon. So that's where I'm like, okay, so where did that fit in? But I think we were learning about costuming from John Henson, because he was always at the Twilight conventions, and he was like, this is how you find screen accurate stuff. This is how you recognize that it's a Levi. This is how you recognize it's American Eagle. This is like, he was teaching us screen accuracy, and we were slowly learning that when it came to Harry Potter Friday parody. And I think that's why the costumes are looking more legit. The wigs are looking a little bit better. Some of the sets are a little bit more screen accurate. And yeah, it was part of, and a lot of it goes to John Henson and learning as you go, truly. But yes, I asked for a snake because I don't know my limitations. I always make a joke and say if I had the opportunity to shoot on the moon, I would. Like, I don't know where the limit is. And
I get that.
yeah, it's people that are more logic and more focused in the real world and not in La La Land and filled with illusion that they're like, Hilly, you can't film on the moon. It's impossible. We're going to make a set that looks like
For today, but give it a couple years, we'll see.
But there was I think they rescued that snake, and they were a sanctuary out here in Vegas, and they were like, yeah, we have a 25-footer, and she's very sweet. She's not she's a lazy little snake. Do you want, not little, but they were saying that in an endearing way. And I said, yeah, and I loved it. I'm not afraid of snakes whatsoever. And I had the best time with her. She was great.
She nailed it. She did amazing. Give her an Emmy.
She did. She did. We both just chilled. But she's so heavy. Like, I didn't realize snakes.
Like, I saw something that said a snake is a bag of throats. And I was like, I wish I'd never heard that, actually.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But I had the best time, and yeah, we even had the Chihuahua involved, and that day, I mean, it was his first trip out to California, and so he was so like hyped, I think, for the road trip that by the time we got to the beach, he was zonked. Like he was so tired.
Perfect for the role.
I know. And he literally like just kind of was like, because like the sun, you know, it's kind of warm, and he just softly closed his eyes. And Hannah was like, oh my God, roll it, roll it. And so that was my little Barty. He's no longer with us, Bartog, R.I.P. But he was a cutie pie, and he also played Gollum in our Lord of the Rings parody. So he's a double Hillywood star.
Many hats, many hats. You also happen to be a shapeshifter, in my opinion. How did you find out that you can turn yourself into all of these characters? Because they're like impeccable.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, to be honest, the early days aren't so good. I literally, like, for most of the early episodes, nobody, please don't Google them. I think I would literally just put on a wig and put on the costume and barely, like, maybe do my brows. But, like, there's so many of those old Hillywood characters. I did nothing to my face. And Twilight, it was like, that's also nothing. I was just putting on eyeshadow and mascara, and I was not even, like, shaping my face. Like, I think until maybe Breaking Dawn was when I was understanding a little bit more. Even Harry Potter, like the Harry Potter didn't really get any better until I think So You Think You're a Wizard. Yeah, like the makeup, like that to me feels more like Harry Potter Friday Parody is still like kind of like Hilly Potter was still there. We didn't really see Harry until later. But I remember Hannah would always do my makeup. She did my Sweeney Todd makeup. She helped me with Jack Sparrow makeup. She'd always do my makeup. And we were shooting Gagaween. And I said, I want to do the Born This Way ball skeleton look. And she said, I have no idea how to do that. You are on your own. If you want that look, that's you, girl. And I was like, oh my God, I've never done this before. Oh my God, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. And like I tried it, and I remember I showed her the first test, and she looked at me, and she was like, I will never do your makeup again. Because she was like, you've been hiding that, like, or pretending like you don't know how to do makeup, you know, giving me the big sister speech. And she's like, you're on your own now. Like, you're good. I don't need to help you no more. And I've been helping you for no reason this whole time. But I'm like, I didn't know I could do makeup. So since Gagaween, that's when I did my own. And yeah, we always try to pick characters that fit our features. So like there was reasonings for me playing certain characters and her playing certain characters because we were trying to figure out who could pull it off more. So like we've never done like a Breaking Bad parody for a reason. We've never done like, Iron Man for a reason. Like there's certain characters I just look at, I'm like, nah, bro.
I can't.
I can't. I can't never say never though, because you never know what will be thrown my way. But yeah, I think we were discovering as we went, but I really appreciate that. I love doing makeup. I love finding the character. And some of them take 6 hours at a time, but for me it's like my zen. I love the moments before set where I am just in zen mode and I'm finding the character with just a couple paint strokes, I like to call it. But yeah, it's always a challenge, I'll say. It's never like, oh, I got this. There's many makeup tests involved now, and I think I think like number 5 took a while. I was always putting on too much. Dean took a while. I was always putting on too much. Like I hit those characters too hard originally, and I was told you have way too much makeup, and you need you need to go back to just your own face. And I was like, oh, okay. So those were a bit hard to find originally. So, anywho.
I mean, if I could say respectfully, your Dean Winchester gives me bi-panic, like, a lot.
Oh, well, no, I've gotten plenty of lovely people coming up to my table and like, I'm blushing, like, you are so hands up.
We're layering here.
Thanks. I'm just Jensen shrunk in the wash. I'm the bite-sized version.
Oh.
Travel-sized David Tennant is what I used to call it. He couldn't do a convention one year. He canceled last minute. and I was there in my Crowley outfit, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy that you're here because it's like a little mini Tennant." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the discount version."
You should just
like
fill in for me.
the discount version, David Tennant. And I'm the mini travel size. So
I love
a lot of
that.
fun. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course, you guys have covered like every major fandom. So just for the listeners, right? Lord of the Rings, Hunger Games, Stranger Things, Sherlock, Doctor Who, Supernatural, the list goes on. Which parody is
You know more than me.
your favorite?
I'm going, oh my God.
You're like,
Yeah,
which one was your favorite?
What was my favorite?
Yeah, what was like your favorite to do?
That's like asking like who's your favorite child? Because like they're all my little babies, and I had such a good experience through all of them. Okay, some of the top are of obviously both the supernatural parodies. Like how can like that I still don't know unless the Lord blesses it. I still don't know if we could ever get that level of cameo and star power in it. It still freaks me out. It was a miracle. It was an answered prayer. It was a blessing. I am so humbled that they even said yes to a YouTuber. Like it is psycho. Like I feel like that's Twilight Zone. It was supernatural, I like to call it. And such a freaking blessing. Those Jensen, Jared, Nisha, Rich, Rob, Jen, like all of them are incredible and so generous. And I don't know how to thank them enough. I could sing their praises this whole podcast. I love them so much. And then of course Sherlock, because that was our first time filming overseas. I was living a dream. I love filming in London. Like I felt so like, okay, we can't like I just knew the backgrounds were gonna look because I'm in Las Vegas. There's nothing here that even remotely looks like London. It would look like our Sweeney Todd parody, which
Oh my God.
we filmed outside of an Italian restaurant. It would not at London. And then I really enjoyed my experience on this last parody that's dedicated to Star Wars. It was absolutely incredible what we were able to utilize while we were there. The support of the team. Richard came on that one with me, and we really collabed and had an amazing time on that set. So it was just a beautiful experience at the same time. And yeah, I'm so excited for you guys to see it. I can hardly wait.
I'm pumped. My question is, who writes these parody songs, and how do you find people that their voices sound like the characters?
Oh my God, yes, let's talk about the voice actors as well. The songwriting has always been me and my sister. We always have a really fun time doing that. The ones that have taken the longest, I think, were Sherlock parody. Just because of all that quick rapping and Macklemore, how
Sherlock parody to Macklemore.
Yeah. And we wanted to reflect how quickly Sherlock speaks. So we didn't want to just, say the words Macklemore was saying. We needed to make it Sherlock. And so that one took a hot second. But the voice actors are so amazing. The ones that you've heard the most of is Elliot Crossley. Elliot was the first voice actor we approached. Oh no, it was Harry Potter Friday parody. That was, I think, Sammy. And Sammy was just a YouTuber. We saw a vlog from him and we're like, hey, can you sing this Harry Potter Friday song? And he was like, okay. And he was a sweetheart. He's from the UK. And he sent us the file and then we mixed it. But Elliot Crossley, we heard his impression of David Tennant. And we were like, holy smokes. I think I still have his audition for us. I just said, can you say, like, time is fleeting, madness takes its toll, because we were already knowing what we were going to do. Mm-hmm. But then Elliot, being Elliot, he started improvising. And he's like, hello, Hilly, this is the doctor. And I'm here to tell you that I really love the Hillywood Show. And I was sitting there and I was like, it feels like David Tennant is talking to me. And he freaking rocked it. It still blows my mind.
That was so good.
so good. And from there, we discovered he can do many voice impersonations. He was Crowley in our Supernatural parody. He said a couple lines for Pogo in the Umbrella Academy. He's done voices for the Joker. He of course did Crowley from Good Omens. Sorry, Crowley, it gets confusing. But we use him constantly. He is like a constant voice actor for the Hillywood Show. He's done some stuff for Shop Hillywood. He can do American accents. He can do anything, this guy. We've also worked with some newcomers as well. I think Steve Hayes. I'm sorry if I say it wrong, but I believe it's Steve Hayes did Aziraphale, and he's never done like Michael Sheen before, but he knew of him, and he did an amazing job. So it's always so much fun to be able to use other people voice versus me. I mean, Hocus Pocus parody was a riot to record. It was me trying to make 3 different witches. But I always like it when someone else can also do some for me as well.
That's so fair. I mean, I'm like always so impressed. They'll speak and I'm like, oh my God, what?
Oh, so good. And then, God, the girl who did Suicide Squad parody, we used someone else for that one. Me and Hannah were really into the mixing, and we wanted her, because that's a hard song to sing. And I was like, nope, not today. And she was a Gaga. I don't know if she does it anymore, but she was a Lady Gaga impersonator. She sang, and
well, she nailed it.
I know. Like, she was so good. And she was amazing as well.
That's so, oh my God, I'm like so impressed by them. So it goes without saying that your production quality has increased like exponentially over the years. Supernatural parody presented by Nerdist Entertainment included, like, as you mentioned, like basically the full cast of the show. How was that idea like pitched, and or how did you react when you found out that it was happening? Because that's so cool.
Yeah, so that one, I think maybe some people, because they saw the Nerdist logo, they thought, oh, they're the ones that got this show on the road. And it was like, no, they were like, we want to partner with you. We'd like to have some of your content on our channel, and just tell us the theme and we'll give you a thumbs up. And that was like it. That was it. So we kind of had like, and that was really cool. We had free creative control because they've seen our work, so they were like, I guess, comfy with us. Just say we want to do Supernatural parody. Although I do remember we said Supernatural parody, and they were like, it's about to hit its season finale for that. Why don't you like either wait or do it when it's a little bit more like running? And I was like, because it's season like finale for this, not season. Oh yeah, season finale. And I was like, because like, I think we should do it when there's downtime. Like, the fans want to bridge the gap between the next season.
Oh, yeah.
So let's bridge the gap and make it like a little fun thing until the next season. And they were like, okay. So yeah, they're pretty chill. And I already was connected with Osric. We met Osric in Spain at a convention. He asked us what we did, and I told him a little bit about the channel, but a really weak pitch because I was very shy. I was like, we are nothing. I'm nobody fancy. It's a Hillywood thing, YouTuber. And I just like walked away because I'm like, you're an actor, Oh, and then he came down the next morning and he's like, that was like the weakest pitch. You undersold yourself. He goes, I binged Hillywood all night long. And he's like, and it is incredible. And I was like, really? Thank you. I didn't think he would go and watch, or even remember the name, but he did. And he was like, do you guys do cameos? Do you work with other actors? And I was like, could that be a thing? Are you interested? He's like, yeah. He's like, right. He's like, can you guys do Supernatural? And I was like, no, we haven't done Supernatural yet. And I was like, but if you're interested in like ever making a cameo, and he's like, yeah. So I think we exchanged emails or something. Then we just kept going on with like our little, I don't even remember, we were getting close to maybe 2014-ish. Trying to remember, like Warm Bodies parody maybe. It's all a blur to me. I don't know. And I wanted to do the Walking Dead parody. And that's when I called him for Glenn. And he was like, I'm down. And we made him dance and everything. And he was so down. And then we didn't do Supernatural until a year later or so. Again, it's a blur. And I asked him, I have this vision of some celebrities dancing in front of like a backdrop. It's very Taylor Swift-esque. I knew I couldn't get them on a big, massive cyc in a studio. What would be convenient? Oh, could we just put on a white backdrop and say, we did it? You know, like, what could we do to make it feel like Shake It Off, Taylor Swift? And I pitched him the idea. Creation heard from me because I was like, hey, seems like we might have some interest. And Richard got on the phone with me. That was my first time talking with Richard.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Osric put me on the phone with him, and he's like, hey, so Osric showed me your stuff. It's pretty cool, man. Like, you know, he was so, like, chill about it. And he's like, yeah, I mean, what do you need us to do? And I was like, well, we're just interested in having you guys come in maybe one by one and doing, like, a fun little jive to some music, and we'll edit it later. And he's like, yeah, I'll ask around to see who's interested. And then Creation gave me permission to be in a little tiny room. It was like a closet. It was so small but perfect because we were able to put our backdrop and have our camera ready. So anybody who had, I guess, the time to, you know, while they were at the con, they kind of just go in the room and say, howdy.
Shit. You shot it during a con.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that's why I had to get permission from Creation to have a little room with a camera. And it was, no one knew what was happening. Like, no one knew we were even there. I think a couple fans saw me just because of Hillywood in general, but they had no idea we were about to do a Supernatural parody. So we had it closed in, and it was such like a fun experience of just sitting in the room over those 4 days and waiting to see who could make it in.
That's so cool.
We were afraid to even use the bathroom or get food because, God forbid,
what if Justin comes in while I'm in the bathroom?
Misha came in when Hannah was in the bathroom.
Oh, no.
And I texted her, and I was like, Misha's here. And she was like, oh, my God. And she just ran back. She was waiting in line, but thankfully she wasn't purely on the loo by that.
That's so funny. I live in Austin, and I ran into Jared at the airport, like, randomly while I was playing Pokemon Go. And I got to go say hi to him, but I was like, oh my God, I'm shaking. I'm like, oh, I can't speak to this man. He's too cool.
He's the coolest. I was just about to say, isn't he the coolest?
He is so cool. I was gonna ask for the 2014 Tumblr girlies, what is it like being friends with the cast? That's so cool.
Oh. I was like, for just the 2014, I'm like, aren't we all still obsessed with that?
Yes.
But the Tumblr, I love Tumblr. I'm still on
Me
Tumblr.
too. I'm still on Tumblr.
Yeah, you know what? I dig Tumblr, dude, because like I have yet to see a bunch of, I hate to say it, but a bunch of AI and a bunch of ads. And I still get the For You feed. I don't get suggested feeds, and I'm so over the suggested. I don't like on Instagram. It's a mess. I can't find any of my friends. Facebook's a mess. Twitter's like, I can't find the people I follow anymore. It's like such a, anywho, Tumblr's rant for today. Yeah, Tumblr's where it's that. But, what was the question? You're like, what's it like?
Yeah, what's it like to like know them and be friends with them? Because I feel like that's like every girl's like dream.
They're amazing. I wish everyone could be, would get to meet them or become like a little, like have a connection somehow. And I know a lot of you have with regards to going to the conventions. And I think that's what makes the conventions so special, the Supernatural ones, is because I think fans can feel just the amazing love and kindness that cast brings. They have such good vibes. And they're so down to earth and very humble. And yeah, it's just they're just a beautiful, beautiful cast. And like I said, it's an absolute blessing. I don't feel like worth the love they've given. I'm nothing compared to what they've done. I mean, freaking Jensen's on like huge shows now, and it's just like Jared is as well. Like they've blossomed and they're just growing. And I'm like, they did Hillywood? Like what? Because I feel like such a small fish in a big see, but people always say stop talking down about yourself, so I need to get better at that. Dang it. But that's just Hilly. So
Well, maybe this will help because I keep hearing this thing that's like, oh, well, maybe I'm somebody's someday, if that like makes sense. Like someone somewhere is like, oh, someday I'll be doing like whatever. So like for me, right, like maybe someone is like, oh my gosh, maybe someday I'll get to talk to like Hilly. Um, because that was me for the longest time. So I saw that you guys did your own panel at like San Diego Comic-Con, but you've also done like so many other cons. Um, how cool does it feel to be sort of on the other side of Comic-Cons? Because that's like the dream.
that's been a beautiful experience. Like I said, I used to be a con goer. We used to do the Lord of the Rings conventions that I mentioned. And I remember being in line and being nervous and waiting to go meet my favorite. And I remember John Rice Davies made a huge impression on me because he actually like sat and spoke with me. And he asked me who I was, what am I up to? And I was not, like I said, not even like a teen. I don't even remember. I was like a kid, and he took the time, like, and I remember his line was like 5 hours long, right? But it's because he wanted to talk to people, and that really made such a big impression on me. And I've been out there. Like I know what it's like to wait in line. I know what it's like to do the whole thing. So it's weird when we started going on the other side, but originally we were more so working. So we were hosting, we were doing the parties, we were doing the balls, we were like working versus just making an appearance. And then come the Supernatural parody was like the first time we were really like, hey, you don't need to like, it's not about working a convention. We just want you to appear at like Salt Lake City Fan X. We just want you to come as a guest. And we were like, we don't have to work it.
You were like, what?
I was just so used to like hosting and like, being involved some way. And they're like, no, like just come. And that one blew my mind. And also MCM Comic Con London, I think our line was 3 hours long. And I was like, that's not right. And they were like, no, like these are people for you. I'm like, no, those are people for other people. And they're like, no, they're your line. And I was like, I only brought we only have like 5 giveaway items. Like we don't have enough. But like, what the heck? Like there's not, and they had to like print more autograph photos for us because we didn't even calculate correct. And for me, it was just such a blessing. I don't take any of it for granted. It blows my mind that those rooms are full of people. Like it just feels like, wow. Because I remember being out there and being in the crowd, and I'm just like, okay, wow, like you guys are freaking amazing. And I just love you guys so much. Hillywood fans, I feel, are so cool because they're just like a umbrella of a bunch of other fandoms.
We're all just nerds.
Yeah. So it's not just like one particular group. We've got, like, I know there's like this big battle between Harry Potter versus Twilight at a time. But then here comes like, Hillywood, and there was Harry Potter and Twilight fans all there in the same room. And I was like, this is so cool.
You've just created world peace.
Yeah, we've been making like bridges and little connections, and it's been a lot of fun. Like just building a universe of fandoms under one umbrella called Hillywood.
I love it. So I have to ask, because we're nerds, what is your like funniest / cringiest fandom moment? Because I know we all have one, and it's like, I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
Cringy how? Like
That's up to
is it like
you.
meeting somebody? Is it just like something you did as
Anything in relation to like the fandoms?
I mean, I don't know. Like I feel like maybe cringy is like when I was a kid, I tried to film the whole Lord of the Rings movie.
The whole thing?
With a bunch of friends. Yeah, we just like wanted to recreate it. It wasn't a parody, it wasn't anything. It was just like, let's film it to recreate. Like, again, there was already like that little thing that God was already like making me discover, I think, who I was. But I was like, let's recreate it. And I'm like, why?
Word for word, all 3 hours.
And yeah, that was those days I kind of go like, oh my God. But, you know, I can't cringe too much because I still think the Lord of the Rings trilogy, it is I feel like it's one of the best movies of all time. Like, the special effects stand up even now. I'm actually going to go see The Fellowship of the Ring this Sunday because it's the 25th anniversary. I'm stoked for it because I already know the special effects are still gonna stand up. Sometimes I feel better than a lot of the stuff we see now.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah.
The effects in Jaws and like Jurassic Park are still better than CGI, in my opinion.
Yeah. I would say yes and no. Like we still like sometimes the practical ones you go, that's a machine and it doesn't sit right. And then I feel like CG can kind of improve a little bit of it now, but I feel you like movies like Jurassic Park. Oh my God. And like The
They don't
Thing,
do that anymore.
it's amazing. And I just wish we would have more practicality versus just a CGI monster. I like, if anything, now I would try to blend it. Like I'd be like, if it's the animatronic lacked, blend it a little bit. But those makers of the animatronics, I mean, just think of what they could do now if you gave them a proper like budget and said, have at it. Like, holy smokes. I mean, you see the animatronics like at Disneyland?
Yeah.
Like some of them look so good. You're like, can we film that?
Why don't we do this everywhere?
I know. It's incredible. And yeah, I mean, with regards to just like maybe you meeting people, I met David Tennant and I can't really remember what we talked about because I was so nervous. But Hannah said I sounded great. But that's one thing that I just kind of like hit myself on the head. Like, I think I forgot to breathe, and I wish I was a little bit more chill. But it's David Tennant. I'm sorry.
I know. I get that. I don't know if you remember this, but like it was either 2013 or 2014 San Diego Comic-Con, and they were doing a Hobbit panel. And somebody asked Benedict Cumberbatch if he could say button lady, but in the dragon voice.
Oh,
And do you know what I'm talking about?
button lady.
Yes.
In dragon voice, Benedict, could you say button lady?
Button lady.
I vividly remember, this is so embarrassing, but I saw that video on my Tumblr way back when. I was at my grandma's house, and I've never been to San Diego Comic-Con. I can never get into their like raffle thing. But I remember seeing this video, and it was both like so hot and so like good. Like I just started sobbing on my grandma's porch swing because I was like overwhelmed. I was like, oh my God, that's the hottest thing I've ever seen. I'm like 13. I'm like, what is this?
That is so cute. Service, because like you were like it was just too many emotions.
It was too much. It was too much for 14-year-old. Yeah.
By button lady, I love that.
Oh my God, it was a lot.
That's adorable. That's adorable.
Okay, so to wrap things up a little bit, do you have, as we approach the 20th anniversary of Hillywood, do you have a message for Hilly and Hannah back in 2006?
Oh God, why is that so deep, Kayla? Holy smokes! Like Barbara Walters here. Okay. Dude, that's heavy. It's heavy, doc. I don't really. If anything, I would probably just say like, hang on. Like it's gonna take off, and we would have never thought, I think, is the beautiful part of it. We didn't know this little thing that we did together just for funsies as kids was going to be a huge defining chapter, and that we were going to meet so many amazing people. And like I said, some of my best friends started out as like little helpers or crew members or fans, and now they're like some of my best friends. So it's like, I don't really know. I would tell them no spoilers, of course, no spoilers.
Oh, of course.
Hang on. Yeah, hang on. It's gonna get fun. And just trust God. He's got you, and you're about to have the time of your lives. And it's just the beginning. I think that I would say something like that just to stoke little Hilly. Yeah, so I think, like, I saw a quote the other day. I posted it on my Instagram. I absolutely adored it. It said something like 12-year-old you would think you were like the coolest person now. And I like died. I was like, that is I can feel that. Like, that is so me. Like, I'd be like, oh my God, you're so cool.
I saw something similar that said that when you're growing up, like, you kind of turn into the person that child you would have felt safe with. And I think about this often.
And I think over the years, and I would like to hopefully speak to some people about this, because I think it's hard growing up and finding yourself and finding who you are. And you are so correct. Like, you kind of revert back to like someone that you would feel safe with. And for me, it took me a while, especially like, you know, going through like, you know, especially the dating game and trying to fit a certain model for certain people. And you know what I mean? Like, kind of changing yourself just to fit in with a certain group, and you're struggling, and then you get back, you're like, why am I so exhausted? Why do I feel so like, oh my God, I'm so tired. And it's because I was realizing I was putting on like a little bit of like a different version of myself just to please other people. And I don't know when it happened, but it slowly faded away. And now I'm just me. Like, I love just being me. Whether that's chaotic, whether that's immature, whether that's goofy, whether it's, you know, I just like to be me now. And I feel like I've realized I don't feel as like tired after social outings or, you know, anything like that, because I'm just being me. And that's a beautiful thing to discover. I hope it lasts.
Right?
We all put through our journeys. But right now, I think I'm in a really good place. And I encourage anybody listening that you just understand that, in the sense that that old little saying that God made you special, and you're one of a kind. And don't ever be ashamed to just be that little person, in a sense, the kid that you were. If you were kind of like a goofy, fun kid or a little shy kid, like, it's still okay to be that little version of yourself. Because I feel like we were so, you know, innocent and pure and had so much, you know what I mean? So much more positivity.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But yeah, that's, I guess, something. But that was a good question.
No, thank you. So the last question I have for you actually doesn't come from me. I do a segment called Artists Ask Artists because I like to kind of connect a bunch of people. So for the last year, I've been having my last guest ask a question for the current guest, and then you get to ask a question for my next guest. So
now I'm stressed because I don't know who your next guest is.
I don't know either.
Although mine's gonna be so chill. They're gonna be like, what the hell?
It could be literally anything. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the musician Barnes Courtney, but I just talked to him yesterday, and he would like to know, what have you done that you probably should have been arrested for but weren't?
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
I was like, I don't even know if she would have.
That's a very difficult question, like, to think of, because like I mean, when I was growing up, I was always called a goody two-shoes. Like, kids would make fun of me in class because I was like one of those, like, oh, follow the rules. The teacher said no talking, so that means no talking. And so they call me goody two-shoes. Yeah, I don't. I'm going through like a bunch of things, trying to see that I should have been getting arrested for. I don't know. I remember one time we were filming, and Hannah, this is on Hannah, it's not on me. Hannah parked somewhere, and she didn't know she wasn't allowed to park there.
Oh.
And it was like pre-Twilight days. I think we were just up in the mountains just doing fun stuff. I can't even remember. It was like nothing. It wasn't even for Hillywood. and a ranger or a police officer. It wasn't just a park ranger. He had on a proper uniform, and he was like, "Whose car is this?" And I was like, "Wow." And Hannah, like, the color drained from her face, and she's like, "What?" And he's like, "You can't park here, dude." And she was like, "Oh, I didn't know." And he was like, "Yeah, you can't park here." But maybe because, like, he saw that we were really young and we were not smart. I guess it's like, it's okay, just move it, but that's your warning. So, but that's something my brain went to right now. I'm like, something that we should have gotten arrested for. Not saying we should have been gotten arrested. It wasn't even my car. But just the only thing I can think of that we kind of got like a little bit in trouble, I guess, with the law is what you'd like to call it. But he didn't. He's chill. He was like, then just move it. But Hannah was freaked.
I would be too.
She was tripping, and all of us were like, "Mommy." So I have to come up with a question?
Yes, I don't know who my next guest is yet, but the podcast is centered around like creation. So if you wanted to do something around that, you could.
Okay, so like, why did I get a arresting question?
You could also ask anything. Someone else asked, are shrimps bugs? So the list goes on. You could ask anything.
No, shrimps are fish, or no, shrimps are sea life, not fish. Oh my God, Hilly.
Yeah, they're like crustacean or crustacean adjacent or something.
Oh. Because, like, are we going to talk about crabs now? Like, what are little lobsters and what are hermit crabs? Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to ask, what's their favorite way to unwind but still be in that creative space without calling it work?
Oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because for me, it's like I still, even when I'm not working, my brain requires like creativity. Like I remember during 2020, as much as we all, the 2020 is like, we don't want to go back there. I did enjoy the little areas I could find a little bit more time. Like I started taking up more guitar again, piano, even something silly like adult coloring. Like it's all creativity, right? And it was actually like I miss a little bit more, I guess, of that space of sort of like a quiet, well, there's nothing else to do.
I do a lot of little side crafts.
Yeah, like I miss having a little bit more of that free time. And for me, it was all creative. So like my breakaway is like, oh, I'm done with creativity. Let's go be creative.
But in a different way.
Yeah, like my brain just likes to daydream. It likes to just constantly be in that state of flow, regardless if I'm working or not. That's just how the good Lord made me. Oh my goodness. Non-stop factory.
It's totally relatable.
Okay, good. So you get it.
I do get it. Yeah. And then, okay, so lastly, I like to give a space for all of my guests to shamelessly self-promote like anything they want. And so I will tell you that our episode, because of a backlog, will air in the first week of April. So it's a little bit of a way out. But is there anything around that time that you would like to promote?
I can't think that far. Wow, I need the DeLorean or the TARDIS to help me out right now. I don't know, but Hilly, in April, I hope you're doing well. I hope you got exciting things coming for you in your life. Yeah, I'm not very good with scheduling, so I don't have any plans right now that I know for sure, so I'm going to back away from that. But I will give, I guess, a little plug of just where to find us and where to watch Hillywood and all that good stuff. Okay. No, just checking. So you guys can check out The Hillywood Show on youtube.com/Hillywood or binge it on thehillywoodshow.com. You can see all of our parodies there, plus like our 2-hour and 3-hour behind-the-scenes features if you're a movie-making, filmmaking geek like me. You can see exactly how we do everything. On top of that, if a little fun fact about the Hillywood Show is that we are 100% fan funded. We don't have any sponsors or network behind us. Everything you see has been supported and basically funded by fans like yourself. So if you're interested in helping the Hillywood Show with that and help us continue creating, you can go to patreon.com/Hillywood. You can join for as little as $2 a month. I know that doesn't seem like you would even make a dent, but I'm telling you, when there's a lot of you that go and join, it makes a difference, and we appreciate you. You can also give a one-time donation on the HillywoodShow.com/donate, and any amount helps because it goes right into the production house and helps us continue creating. I mean, that's why our productions take so long to come out, is over the months of downtime we're saving up to create the next one, because we get little month per month from Patreon. So we save it like little chipmunks and squirrels, and we're trying to save up for the winter, so to speak, except the winter is a parody. So yeah, that's a little, I guess, my shameless plug.
The next parody is in the works. The Star Wars.
Sorry, sis, about that. If you're a big fan of something called Star Wars, I think you're going to be very interested in the next parody. We've already spoiled that Richard Spade Jr. Worked with me on it on set. He was absolutely amazing to work with. This was my first time creatively like collaborating with him on set, and he was helping my vision come to life, especially when I was in front of the camera, because I couldn't have both the reins. It was a little hard to drive that wagon. We also have cameos and special guest stars with Matt Cohen is in it, Tessa Netting is in it, Phil Lamar is in it, and Jim Beaver. They all have roles. So that's very, very exciting. There's many things I wish I could say more about it, but because our videos are so short, if I say any more, it'll spoil the whole deal. So I gotta always put a button on it and say, hopefully you'll see it soon. But yeah, we're in the final stages of post-production, and then from there I have to edit the behind the scenes, and that's going to take a while because, like I said, they're about 1 to 2 hours long. So yeah, but I'm excited. I'm very, very blessed that it happened. It was a beautiful journey, and I'm excited for what's next for Hillywood and seeing what could kind of take us hopefully to new and exciting levels.
That's so cool. I'm super excited. Well, Hilly, thank you so much for joining. I wrote down, because I thought I would forget, just while I have you here with me, I just wanted to say thank you to you and Hannah for doing what you're doing and bringing people like me a bunch of inspiration and just like insurmountable joy. It means so much to me that you took the time to come on my show, and I'm excited to see what's next for the Hillywood Show.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate it, and I'm sorry that your DM sat for a while there. I'm kind of backlogged on my DMs. I'm really, really bad with DMs.
I didn't even think you would see it, so I was very impressed.
Well, like every so often I'll go into, because I mean, Instagram has this thing now called requests and then hidden requests. I don't know what the difference is between requests and hidden requests, but I very rarely check like the requests or hidden requests. I don't know why we don't get it in our feeds anymore. But when I did, I was like, oh my God, like she was asking like a proper oops. And so when you told me all about your podcast and how you interview creative people, I'm like, that sounds fun. So thanks for your patience and for allowing me to come on and talk all about this little thing called the Hillywood Show. You're amazing, Kayla, and I wish you nothing but the best. And
thank you. I appreciate
it. Yeah, let me know, because I'm like I said, I'd love to share it with my followers as well.
Yeah, I would love to, and I'll probably follow up and see if you have any like favorite photos for like promo and cover art and all that. I gotta show the many faces of Hilly, for sure.
I'll put it in the honest. I know whenever we do like appearances for convention, it's always just like a character photo because it's like of the latest parody. So we had, I mean, Dean was up for a long, long time, and then it eventually was Harley, and then eventually, all these characters. People are like, is that the same? Wait,
We're like,
I didn't that person. I didn't meet them. So I'm very excited for this next one. That'll be a new character, And yeah, no spoilers.
I'm excited.
I was seeing people guess though for this one. This one has been a lot of fun seeing people guess. I'm like, no, I'm not Chewbacca.
Are you C-3PO?
I'm actually Jabba the Hutt. So
Oh my god.
that's my big role. I'm Jabba.
I would pay to see that.
Yeah. I look so much like him.
It's just a giant grouping.
makeup.
Oh
Oh
my god.
Thank you again, Kayla. This was a lot of fun.
Of course, thank you. I will let you go. Have a great rest of your evening.
Bye-bye.
That's all for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening. And Hilly, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me. This was a dream come true for me. Guys, I'm going to be linking all of the Hillywood socials in the description below. Make sure you follow them so that you don't miss any updates, behind the scenes information about the upcoming Star Wars parody. You already know that I'm extremely excited for it. I can't wait. I, once again, want to say, make sure you're following the Morning Brew podcast on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Apple Podcasts. You don't want to miss any of the cool things that we have coming for you in the future. Please join us next time. I'm going to be sitting down with Craig Fort from the band Lightning Stills.